All right, everybody. Well, welcome to the Greg and Lisa show. I'm Greg,
And I'm Lisa.
and this is my daughter, whose name we're going to try not to say throughout the entirety of this show.
We're going to do our best.
But I promised you all three of us would be here, and
Yeah.
I delivered.
Yeah, you did.
So, what do we got to talk about today, everybody?
Oh, today we're going to talk about kids in business, little entrepreneurs. And we have our special guest with us today. So we should pick a different name. Was there something you'd like to be called today? If you picked a name? How about the name of your business you would call it? What do you think about that? Beautiful bracelets?
Yeah.
All right, beautiful bracelets.
Yeah, we'll use that for today.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. But since school's out, you do see a lot of little entrepreneurs. You see lemonade stands, you see kids selling their toys at yard sales, and you do see some other girls sometimes selling the bracelets that they've made. And so this week, our beautiful bracelets entrepreneur has chosen her business to be what?
Uh,
What are you going to make and sell?
I'm gonna make bracelets and keychains and different things to sell for other people.
Yep, and I think y'all can see some of them right here. So, some of the work.
Right. Some of them are what she made. Some of them are. I've stopped and supported some girls selling bracelets because I like to support kids. But when you're starting a home based business, there's a few things that you need to keep in mind and think about. And one is finding your passion on what you enjoy doing. Because if you enjoy doing it, you will do it longer and it won't be like a job.
Right. It's pointless to start your own business to get away from somebody else being your boss if you don't like what you're doing. You've just made another terrible thing your boss when you do that.
Yeah. And the other thing you need to do is you need to run the numbers to see if you have a product
Or
that
service.
will sell, or service, and that you can make money on. So sometimes you do a test market and find out. And does your product meet a need or a want? Is it a needs based or a want based? So, as you drive around, I don't know if you've ever stopped and supported kid businesses, but it's fun. It's the fact that they're trying and they're trying to do something that makes it fun to support them. But as the kids get older, though, they need to look at business more of making a profit, and it's important that they have a passion for the business. Do you enjoy making your bracelets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
There's a girl named Adrienne Craig, and she was bullied a lot when it's Carrig, Adriana Carrig. And she was bullied a lot when she was in school. And when she got to college in her dorm room, she started making bracelets, and all of her bracelets had kind words on them. And she started a business, and it's called Little Words Project. And now her little word bracelets are sold all over the world, and even Taylor Swift.
Oh, Tay-Tay's got them?
Yep. And
Tay-Tay herself. Wow.
Yeah. And so they had, she was on one of the talk shows and she was talking about how she started and, how her business has grown, and it all started in a dorm room. And she's even gone to interactive where some of the beads you can go online and connect with other people. And so this is a story of somebody that was bullied who turned the bad things in her life around into kindness. Yeah, kind of like that, kill them with kindness, and has made a great business out of it.
That's a lesson even beyond, if business isn't your thing.
It is. It really is.
If you've got some negativity in your life, there are probably other ways other than starting a business to turn it into a positive thing. But that is not for today. Right. I just thought about that and distracted from you two.
That's okay. So we have some questions for Lena.
No, it's okay. I'm not. You know what?
Oops.
It's Lena. Because we called him JJ when he was on, so that's fine. Yeah. I'm not even going to cut it. I'm not going to put horse noises or standby static.
So, Lena, did you bring a few of your bracelets that you have made?
Yes.
Hold a few of them up and explain a little bit about what they are.
Absolutely.
And how you made them.
So here are a couple. I just made them from string and some clay beads, I guess.
That's all right.
And then I have another one that I just made out of regular beads and string.
It's good to know that some of these have stretchy stuff in there, though, which is what almost happened to my face right there.
Do you like to make the bracelets, and why?
Yes, because I like I can make them for other people who like want to give them to like their sons or daughters and like their family members.
Mm-hmm. So about how many bracelets can you make in about an hour?
So rubber band bracelets, maybe 10, and beads like 3.
Okay, so the rubber band bracelets are easier to make. You can make more in an hour, but the other beads, you maybe get 3 in an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you sold
Okay.
any of your bracelets so far?
Yeah. A lot of them.
Yeah. Where have you sold your bracelets at?
Craft show.
Craft show?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how much do you sell your bracelets for?
So beaded ones are $3, and then rubber band ones are 2.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. The ones that take longer to make cost
Right.
a little bit more.
That's right. So did you have fun selling your bracelets and interacting with people?
Yeah.
Yeah, was it fun?
Yeah.
Did you take special orders from people? Did they ask for special orders or special colors for you?
Yeah.
Did you make them? Did you charge them more money for any extra special work?
Mm-mm.
No.
Something to think about anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe not strictly necessary if you have the supplies and they cost the same amount, but
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you enjoy making your bracelets, so look at some of the economics behind bracelets. How did you, before you even read this outline, when you decided to put a price on your bracelets, how did you come up with that price?
I don't know. I just thought of the price because, like, I didn't want to make it too expensive and, like, too cheap. So I made some of them because if it was, like, a bigger bracelet, it would be worth more. And if it was a smaller bracelet, it would be worth less.
Okay.
and there are actually business owners who have put less thought than that into it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
so
Yeah.
that is far from the worst way to come up with a
Oh,
price.
yeah. Well, and some people just like to do it and they use their passion for therapy and they really don't care what they sell them for.
Well,
They
yeah,
just
that's
want
true.
people
It
to
depends.
enjoy
It
'em
depends
too.
on your goals as
Right,
well.
right. Well, the last time you were in my house, you made a bracelet, and I asked you to count how many beads were on your bracelet, and you counted the number, and how many beads was on one bracelet.
104.
Wow, this is a big bracelet.
No, they were
No.
small beads.
Tiny beads. I was looking at these, and I'm like 104 of these bad boys.
Yeah,
That'd be huge.
It was something
It was
like
ones like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes a little more sense.
yeah. So the box of beads you used had 20,000 beads in it,
Yeah.
and it cost about $17 for that box of 20,000 beads. So if to figure it out, you have to find out what the cost per bead is.
Mhm.
So you have to complete the following equation. So what is the equation you have to use in your head?
So
Or with a calculator. You don't always have to do it in your head. But when you're figuring out how much to charge for your bracelet, how are you going to figure out what each bead costs?
So you would take $17
17 what?
Mhm.
and divide it by 20,000 beads, and you would equal it, and it would be 0.0.
Well, you have to what?
Well, I have to times it
Yeah,
by.
this is the cost of your bead.
Right. So that is
Uh-huh.
for everybody. That is cost per bead of 0.00085 cents.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then you would times it by 4, and then
How
you would
much? Times it by how
100.
much? Yes.
104.
Okay.
And then it would equal 0.08.
For the beads per bracelet.
So
It's
about
9
9 cents.
per
Yeah.
bracelet. Right. Okay, so each bracelet cost you in materials, and we added in a little bit for the string or the rubber band.
Yeah, of course. Mhm.
So how much does each bracelet cost you just for materials?
19 cents.
19 cents. Okay. And that doesn't add in your labor cost, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now you have to decide how much your time is worth. Okay. Because there's a saying you can stay home and not make money, or there's a saying that time is money.
Mhm.
So how much, you have to figure how much is your time worth. Are you doing it to really make money and make a profit? Are you doing it for fun? And if you make money at it, it's a bonus. So you have to look at, how much your time is worth. So if you sell your bracelets, because I put in there $1, it cost you 19 cents. then your profit on that bracelet is 81 cents. But that's your gross profit. All right. So out of that 81 cents, you would have to deduct your labor and get your net profit because you've already deducted your materials.
Mhm.
So now you have to deduct your time to decide how much profit you're actually making per bracelet.
So by my very quick math, $2 to $4 is probably a real good place to be.
Yeah.
It's at least a decent place to be. Certainly not the $1.
Right.
You start
yeah.
taking
Right.
labor out of 81 cents, that
Yeah.
gone.
Right, exactly. And you times that though by the number of bracelets that you sell in a day or a number of bracelets that you make in an hour. You know. So whether you decide to go into your business just because you enjoy your hobby or you follow your passion, there are real rewards that, you know, are many for being in your own business. So if you're working at something you like to do, what are some of the benefits?
Like from right here.
Mm-hmm.
I would say like relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
It helps.
It's Virginia. Okay.
It helps.
It's all right. It's her first time on
Yeah,
camera.
yeah.
So, unlike making bracelets, unlike this, making bracelets, relaxing, relieving stress, lowering blood pressure, those three are, pretty
Right.
closely.
Yeah.
So, what else?
Therapy.
It is like therapy in
Yeah.
a way.
It gives you a sense of accomplishment. You can see what you've made,
Yeah.
you know, from start to finish.
You can see the fruit of your hands.
So
Right.
the fruit of your efforts, the fruit of your labor.
Right. The Bible says you prosper by the fruit of your hands.
It gives you time to think.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you time to pray.
Absolutely.
It gives you time to praise and worship the Lord for the gifts He has given you.
Yep. And before we move on, we talked about all those numbers with the money. Like, there's not a right or wrong answer to how much you should charge for something like this.
Right.
You just have to understand what you're going to get out of it
Right.
when you pick that price.
Right. You do. And sometimes, you like to do it just because you know it blesses somebody.
Right. And if you don't want to do that and it's more of a donation thing, that's cool too. You just have to understand that.
Right.
You don't want to go into it trying to make a profit and then lose money like that. Doesn't
Right. And how many bracelets and stuff have you made for your friends and given away?
A lot.
I was going to say, is there even a number that we have to describe that? It's been a few.
That's a good thing. And, our gifts, they come from God and we're sharing them, which is what He wants us to do. So there is a verse in the Bible that states in Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, the people will perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. So if you have a vision and you see a plan, so like you have a plan to start a business and trying to sell your product, that you'll be happy. Happy things will happen. And if you have a vision and a passion, go for it because you're not going to know until you try.
Yeah.
But you want to go cautiously whenever you start a business. See, right now, all your materials were given to you. You have bought some on your own, but a lot of them were given to you. So right now, everything is profit for you except for your time.
Right.
But as you start the business and you have to start investing your own money in what you sell, then you're going to start looking at the numbers.
Yep.
But you want to go and seek God first for His knowledge, His wisdom, His guidance, and His patience, because it takes time to start a business. Because sometimes you may go to a craft sale and not sell any. Sometimes you'll go to a craft sale and sell 100 of them. And so you have to, be patient when you start your business, and you want to follow the Bible verses on working. And there's some Bible verses on working.
Oh, wow. All right. Let's get into it. So the first one here, Proverbs chapter 14, verse 23, all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty.
You know what that means? Talk is cheap.
Yeah. That's where it's exactly where that.
You want, but if you want to do something, you have to put action to it.
Yeah.
You have to want to work. That's how you make money, is by working. So the next one is Proverbs 16:3. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. So, God has a plan for all of us, but if we plan to do something, He'll help our plans if we go to Him first and commit whatever we do to him, because it is all his anyways. He owns everything.
I mean, if my plan is to go run every stop sign I see, will the Lord help me out with that? Is that what that means?
No, because that's not following the law.
Yeah, that's commit to the Lord whatever you do, but
Yeah,
the rest of the Bible still applies also.
that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
That's a good way to put that. So,
yeah.
next one here, Proverbs again, chapter 23, verse 4. Do not wear yourself out to get rich. Do not trust your own cleverness. And then I guess on to verse 5 here. Cast but a glance at riches, and they are gone, for they will surely sprout wings and fly off to the sky like an eagle.
Yeah.
You can't take your money to the grave with you.
You can't, and money can't be your primary target, your primary goal.
Yep.
It's nice to, have money and
Yeah.
be rich, but God meets all our
Yeah.
needs, and He says that in the Bible.
Money
So,
is a tool. It's
Right.
not
right,
the goal.
right, because it's the love of money that is the evil part.
Yeah, the piece of paper, whatever.
Right.
And you see in the Bible, hey, whose
Yeah.
face is on the coin at Caesar? Well, give it
Mhm.
back to Caesar. What?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a big.
Right,
The actual thing wasn't a big deal.
right. Go ahead, Lena.
Proverbs 13:11. Well, verse 11. Dishonesty.
Dishonest.
Yep, you got it.
Well,
Wealth.
wealth will vanish, but whoever gathers wealth
Well,
by honest labor makes it grow.
Right. So dishonest wealth will vanish. That means if you're cheating,
Yeah.
your wealth isn't going to last forever. It may
Yeah.
seem, a lot of people will say, why does it look like all the people that are evil or don't believe in God make all the money? Because, sometimes Christ followers will ask that and think that,
yeah.
Because it looks like, God is blessing them, but it's not God blessing them. It's just they're getting rich on their evil ways,
Yeah.
but it doesn't last. It's like all the people that win the lottery and then they have a terrible life because they don't do with what the blessing that God has given them to do.
And it's one of those cases where money becomes your idol. Money becomes the thing you worship. And,
Right.
When you in front of the Lord, it's not going to care what your profit margin was or what your...
Right, because it says, do not have any other idols before me.
If you had an honest business and you lost money, that would be more pleasing to the Lord than a dishonest business that made billions of dollars.
That's right.
So,
but whoever gathers the wealth, though, by honest labor, makes it grow. That means
and that's...
you bless your business and, bless
and
your
that's
efforts.
That's what the ancient times were full of. A man giving his farm or whatever orchard, whatever it might have been, blacksmith to the children, making an honest. And these people weren't making today's equivalent of billions of dollars.
Right.
They were making enough to live and raise their kids.
Right. That's right.
And that was it. That was about it.
Yeah.
Last, you want to go?
No, go ahead.
Last one we have here, well, not the last one, but the last one for a little bit. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 4. He who has a slack hand becomes poor, but the hand of the diligent makes rich.
So do you know what a slack hand is? Like lazy.
Lazy.
So if you're lazy, you'll become poor. You won't, become rich or, meet your needs. And, but the hand of the diligent and the people that work is what, where God prospers and is always going to be with you. But the key is you have to have that relationship with Jesus Christ, in order for him to do the things that he has promised he will do.
Mm-hmm.
So if you decide to start a home-based business, you need to pray about it, because it's not something you just do on a whim, and you have to be patient and take the necessary steps to make your business grow. But it's not easy being in your own business. It's hard work, and it takes a lot of time, and sometimes it can be all-consuming. And you know what all-consuming is? That's where all your thoughts go, is to getting your business done, because you have orders to do, you have a timeline to make, you have bills to pay. And so, if you're in the middle of making a bracelet and you run out of that certain color bead, what are you going to do?
Just add another different bead and continue doing a different kind.
Yeah, unless it's a special order.
Right.
And then you have to do what? Go
buy more.
Right.
Okay, because sometimes you have that option. You can just sub one in there, and that's okay a lot of the time. But
But if it's a special
Yeah.
order, then you don't have that option. So.
Or I could just ask them if I could add different kind of.
Well, yeah, you can check with
Yeah,
your
you can
customer.
check
That's
with
always
your
an option
customer.
too.
Yeah, yeah. So the best advice I can give you that pertains to anything in life is this next verse. And it says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be made unto you." So seeking God first is always the best and the
Right.
first step
And
to
just
do.
that was Matthew chapter 6, verse
Yes.
33.
Yes. So pray about your business and see if it's where God's leading you, and let him lead the way.
Yep.
Not
And
you, let
not-
him lead the way.
And obviously that
Yeah.
applies to everything else, not
It
just
does.
business.
That's right. It applies to your whole life. So what do you think about being in business now after you've heard all of this? Is it still a go or is it a no?
And still
Or
like
a maybe?
it's still a go because I can still do good things with my business.
Right.
You can.
Right.
Because I wouldn't just sell bracelets. I also can make notes with the bracelet.
Yeah. So
And at the end of the day, there's also absolutely nothing wrong with blowing $17 and making some people happy.
that's right. That's right. So, but that's that's the choices, and that's how we learn. And sometimes we make money, and sometimes we don't make money. And sometimes we just break even. We don't lose money or we don't make money. We just break even. And so you just have to pray about it and see where God leads you and what doors open.
Mhm.
And maybe, it is your bracelets that make people happy. And when people are sick, you make them happy by giving them one, or, doing something that, meets a need. So would you say your bracelets are a need or a want?
Mm,
Do you know the difference?
like a need is you like you need food, you need a bed, you need
Yeah.
blankets.
It's a good way of putting it.
Right.
But a want is you want something, like I want candy, I want like money, I want etc.
Right. Yeah. So would you say your bracelets are a need or a want?
Hmm.
Do you need a bracelet to live?
No.
Okay. So you would want a bracelet.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how, when we asked and we said you needed to establish whether you have a need or a want, that's where you look at, what is my product? So yours is a want, but so you have to make them so your customers want them.
Mm-hmm.
But also, as you give them away, because you're using your gift that God gave you, it will make people happy, and then they will want them.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they will be repeat customers because you did something nice.
And
business.
honestly,
Mhm.
the line between need and want sometimes,
Mhm.
we talked about therapy. Like if
Mhm.
this became a sentimental piece to somebody,
Right.
and it
'Cause-
very reasonably could, that
Mhm.
starts to almost become a need.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do this for
Just,
therapy.
think of how,
Mhm.
babies love their binky,
Right.
toddlers love their blanket.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can become something like that to an
Mhm.
adult even.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Still a want, but
Yeah.
it's still,
Right.
the lines blur a
Yeah,
little bit, is all I'm
that's right.
saying.
That's right. So, well, that's our session today on kids and entrepreneurs and kids in business.
Mhm.
And so we encourage you, if you see lemonade stands out there, or people selling
Mhm.
bracelets, or kids selling their toys, whether you buy anything or not, stop and give them a buck or something for just taking the effort.
Yeah.
I will sometimes just give them the money, and I'll tell them to give the next person their lemonade. I bought it for them, or I will give
of
them
course.
a couple. I was in Columbus, and some kids were on the corner selling cold bottles of water.
Yeah.
And so I gave them a couple bucks, and I said, "You guys drink the water. You're out there on a hot day trying to sell
Sure.
water
Yeah.
bottles to people
Yeah.
stopping at the red light." And so support the kids that are trying to raise money. We don't always know why they're trying to raise money. It could be to help their family. It could be to start a business. It could be something that they, are passionate about buying or doing for somebody. But, support the kids if they're willing to go out and start a business and to try something on their own.
Mhm.
Because if their heart's in right motive, God knows the desires of our hearts, and, God will prosper you.
Sure does.
So,
Well, we hope you've had a good week.
Yep.
We're good. Let's see here. Heart rate's good.
yeah.
Everything's good over here.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
All right. See you, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.